Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we simplify complex legal issues and court cases for everyone. Today we dive into the fascinating Singapore High Court Appellate Division of Chia Kok Kee and Tan Wah. This case involves bankruptcy law, allegations of fraud and a long-standing shareholder dispute. The dispute revolves around two individuals, Mr. Chia Kok Kee and Madam Tan Wah, who were shareholders of HX Investment Private Limited, a company set up to invest in a hydroelectric power plant in China. Madam Tan held 60% of the shares, while Mr. Chia held 31%. Disputes arose over the years, resulting in multiple lawsuits, including Mr. Chia alleging fraud and claiming an additional stake in HX. The immediate issue began in 2023 when Madam Tan served a statutory demand on Mr. Chia for over $886,000, covering unpaid costs and amounts owed under prior legal proceedings. Mr. Chia sought to set aside the statutory demand, claiming he had a cross-claim against Madam Tan for alleged fraud related to HX's investment in China. Setting aside simply means to cancel, so essentially he wanted to cancel the statutory demand. The core issue before the Court of Appeal was whether Mr. Chia had a valid cross-claim that raised triable issues, warranting the setting aside of the statutory demand. The specific questions were whether Madam Tan sold HX's investment without Mr. Chia's consent, and whether the investment was worth significantly more than the amount stated in the statutory demand, entitling Mr. Chia to damages exceeding the amount in the statutory demand. Mr. Chia argued that Madam Tan secretly colluded with third parties to sell HX's investment at a low price without his consent. He valued the investment at RMB 21 million, claiming that his 31% share was worth at least 1.58 million, enough to offset the statutory demand. Mr. Chia also pointed to communications and agreements, including a complaint he claimed to have lodged with the Chinese authorities as evidence of fraud. Madam Tan's defense denied receiving any money from the sale of HX's investment. She argued that Mr. Chia's claims were speculative and unsupported by evidence. She also highlighted Mr. Chia's inconsistent conduct, including his failure to raise these allegations earlier in related proceedings. The Court of Appeal dismissed Mr. Chia's appeal. Here's why. First, there was no evidence of fraud or unauthorized sale. The minutes of the creditors' meeting showed the investment was disposed of without compensation as part of a court-approved restructuring plan in China. The Court of Appeal also found the allegations of Madam Tan's collusion were speculative and contradicted by a contemporaneous evidence. Second, the Court of Appeal found no evidence supporting the valuation. The valuation of RMB 21 million relied on by Mr. Chia was outdated and irrelevant. Even under his own evidence, the investment's value would not have offset the statutory demand. The Court of Appeal noted that Mr. Chia's allegations of fraud only surfaced after the statutory demand was served, and that his actions in earlier proceedings, including his silence on the alleged fraud, undermine his credibility. The court found Mr. Chia's appeal to be entirely unmeritorious and ordered him to pay indemnity costs of $20,000 to Madam Tan. This case underscores important principles in bankruptcy and litigation. First, speculative claims are insufficient. Courts require concrete evidence to support allegations, particularly in financial disputes involving claims of fraud or collusion. Courts require concrete evidence to support allegations, particularly in financial disputes involving claims of fraud or collusion. Number two, consistency is key. Litigants must ensure that their arguments align with earlier actions and documents. Inconsistent conduct can severely weaken a case. Third point, the role of statutory demands. Statutory demands are a powerful tool in insolvency law. However, they cannot be set aside based on unsubstantiated counterclaims. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay informed and stay empowered.